Superpowers for good, shaping the fate. Investors and dreamers open the gate. Super Crow stands loud, proud, and true, building tomorrow for me and you.
Welcome, everyone, to the Superpowers for Good show. I'm so excited. We've got a great guest today. Renee is with us, and she is the CEO and founder of Goat Move. So we're going to have a great conversation, especially if you're an entrepreneur. This conversation is really, really for you. Of course, if you're an investor, we got stuff for you too. So don't leave. Stick around. Okay, Rachel, welcome to the show. We're thrilled to have you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Well, more excited to have you. Listen, I think Goat Moves is like a real tool, like real businesses, the businesses we typically think of when we talk about small businesses, especially, are going to benefit from your program, but also creators. A lot of creators in the world. Like I think of myself as a creator. I'm sitting here creating with you right now. Tell us about what Goat Moves is and how entrepreneurs, small business owners use Goat Moves.
Yes, no, thank you. So Goat Moves Inc., Goat Moves Marketplace is an all-in-one e-commerce marketplace platform that enables small to medium-sized businesses specifically and solopreneurs to sell their products, their services, and their digital downloads on a central platform. So you no longer have to choose if you're selling products or services. You don't have to spread your offerings across every platform. We have centralized it for our businesses. And so far we have over 900 sellers waitlisted. So they are enjoying the benefits of the platform.
That's really cool. Now, I want to sort of dig in just a little bit. So let's say you've got all kinds of different things that people could be selling. So you've got, a guy that's selling little custom EVs, right? Little scoot around town cars. They might be roadworthy, maybe not, but making dozens a year, right? That's a small business, right? You got someone else who's selling books, and someone else is producing a show. What are the use cases? How does this work? And who are the buyers? Who are the sellers? Give us a little sense of how this works. So I'm curious.
I'll give you a little backstory because it goes into the platform. So I started off in government contracting back when I'm originally from Kansas City, Missouri. So I was the only 24-hour provider there at the time. And not only did I provide drug testing services, but DNA services and cleaning as well. So I was already positioning myself to make my own business and an ultimate third-party administrator. But here's the thing. I also sold at-home drug testing kits, 10-panel dip testing kits. And I was like, okay, so how can I do both? But then it was very hard for me to get discovered, especially according to the other businesses that were trying to contract me. So I was a small business. So I thought to myself one day, I said, why don't they just create a platform where you can sell products and services and anything digital, but still give the availability and the accessibility of a marketplace, so businesses can get discovered. And so instead of, trying to go to Google or Amazon or Fiverr, I just decided to undertake, this myself. It took me almost a year to find my development team, but once I found them, we were able to develop, we're still in beta, but we were able to onboard 10 sellers as of now. And right now, of our 900, because it's just a lot to onboard them while we're in our beta state, but we have estheticians, a lot of estheticians. So what that looks like and how it translates is we have estheticians that have their own private label products. They also provide facial, services, but then they also have like skincare 101 ebooks. So they're able to sell every single aspect of their business on our centralized platform in a market.
Yeah. Okay. So really excited. So, how are you delivering esthetician services digitally?
That's their choice. So some people, because as entrepreneurs, we also do a lot of consultations and coaching nowadays. So whether it's you want to book the service to go in person, or if you're booking a virtual consultation for your skin, or if you want to purchase an ebook from this esthetician, you can do all of that on their page within our Goat Moves Marketplace platform. So we have completely streamlined it, not only for the seller, but we've also streamlined and I would say enhanced the shopping experience for us as the users. Because listen, I'm a 90s baby, okay? I get tired too. I'm not going to follow a business across 4 or 5 different apps. I'm done after 2.
Yeah. So let's talk about the experience of a user, right? And all of us, regardless of whether or not we're here today thinking about you as a change maker, thinking about you as a founder, or as someone that we might invest in. We'll talk about more of that in a minute. But all of us buy stuff. So we're all users. So tell us a little bit about that user experience when we're buying stuff on the marketplace. How would that work?
Yes. So when you come to the marketplace, so we don't have an app yet. We're still on the desktop. We will be building out our app later. But on the desktop, you have everything at your fingertips. So if you are looking for your household products or your cosmetics, or if you're buying a cosmetic and you're like, oh shoot, I did want to book a facial, or if you want to shop a service, you can shop all of it on the platform. And then it's a beautiful thing because a lot of the times you may love a business, but there may be an aspect of that business or that entrepreneur that you don't even know exists because the platform that they're on limits them to maybe just products, or limits them to only services, or limits them to these digital downloads. So having that accessibility, as the shopper, to be able to say, oh wow, and then I can store all of it here, so I don't have to have Yelp, Google, Amazon, Fiverr, Angie's List. I don't have to have all of them. I have all of my needs met and centralized on this one platform. And then we're just getting started. I have, I'm very blessed because a few of my developers are actually were senior developers for Pickaboo, which is the #3 e-commerce marketplace in Bangladesh. So to be able to provide this streamlined coding and to continue to build up on that, I'm very excited for the user and the shopper.
Yeah, this is cool stuff. And so you're already having, demonstrable progress, demonstrable success. Very exciting. Let's chat now a little bit about the fact that you're running a crowdfunding campaign on NetCapital. So you're doing a crowdfund offering, an investment, a regulated investment crowdfunding offering. Tell us what you hope to accomplish with this, why you're doing this, et cetera, et cetera. And then, of course, tell people how they can find the page they want to invest.
Oh no, thank you. So yes, I'm very excited. We were taken on by NetCapital, and they are a great firm. We're here in Los Angeles. This firm, we've launched our Reg CF pre-seed raise. So all of the information is available at netcapital.com/company/goatmoves. You can also find the links on all my social media, all at Goat Moves Inc. across all platforms. The link is there to go find out more information. But the reason why we decided to go the Reg CF route was a few different reasons. One, obviously, as a founder, I have put my blood, sweat, tears, passion, soul, everything, my DNA, into this. I wanted to protect it. I wanted to protect, my co-founder and, all of the people that have been here with me since the beginning. But I also wanted to make it available, to the public at this early stage, because sometimes, the general public is not an accredited investor. The general public does not have $1 million net worth, or maybe not even making $250,000 a year, so I wanted to make wealth accessible because I personally, like I said, I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. We moved to Los Angeles. I have been on the short end of a lot of financial sticks. I've been through my 20s, and I know what it's like to have the desire to want to, set up for your future and invest and do things like this. But, by the time it gets to the Dow or the NASDAQ, it's $50 a share. And it's like, I can't do that. So I wanted to make wealth accessible to the public, and then also invite the public to come in, and just feel like they are a part of something.
Yeah, I think that's wonderful. I'm so glad that you're making this possible for us to participate with you and support you. As you think about this effort you're making, I wonder if you could help us put this in just a little bit of context. Tell us about your career leading up to this. You mentioned that you had a small business that was contracting with the federal government. Tell us a little bit more about your pre-Goat Moves career.
Well, listen, I have lived many lives, okay? And part of this is also what makes me very passionate about what it is that I am doing, because I'm not that entrepreneur or founder that has been an entrepreneur or a founder my entire life. I have done everything. I've worked in warehouses, I've stacked pallets, I've worked in accounting, billing, I've worked in maternity, bridal, I've bartended in Vegas. I have, I've lived so many lives in my 31, almost 32 years, and I understand what happens from the ground up in so many businesses as an employee, as in management, and I wanted to basically not only with my business, not only provide a service that was meaningful, but I wanted to also, I got a little chip on my shoulder. I wanted to prove a point that business can also be run ethically, and that the owners, we are in charge, and we can make decisions that positively affect the people around us, because I've been that employee that's like, oh my God, like, do you not care that the majority of my life is here? So much of my efforts and my energy is here, and you're taking it for granted. So, I appreciate my team. I appreciate those, that have strived with me up until this point. And that's why I call myself the People's CEO. I call Goat Moves Marketplace the People's Platform, because we are built for the people, by the people. I am the people. So, and that's what I want people to, understand. So from the user side, and especially from the seller side, as a small business, I just really wanted to make things easier, because a lot of the times, our small businesses, this is also our middle class. These are your married couples, your young entrepreneurs. They're still working and hustling. They may not have all the time or the wherewithal and capacity to be able to figure out all these intricacies, but that shouldn't stop you from being able to pursue a passion or pursue a purpose. So that's my motivation.
Excellent. Now, if we have folks who, and I suspect we do, who are interested in getting into the beta, how do people, sellers, get into your beta program, or at least get into the queue?
Oh, yes. Thank you so much for asking. Nobody has asked me that. So you can go to Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook at Goat Moves Inc. And there is a join waitlist link. And it has all of our company information, my co-founder, and you can put in your email, and you are right in the queue, and you will be probably 1,100 at this point.
Okay. That's exciting. Well, listen, everyone, we're going to take a quick break here. We're here today with Rachel Renee. She's the CEO and founder of Goat Moves. She's a big deal, and she's really created something really special for entrepreneurs. And we're excited. She's raising capital on NetCapital. You got to check that out. Listen, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to shift gears and talk to Rachel about her superpowers. So stick around. You don't want to miss this.
You can get in on the ground floor to help fix the climate crisis for as little as $100. Pause now to scan the QR code to get started, or visit s4g.biz/raisegreen. You can beat a green at Raise Green.
Want to learn from the world's great change makers? Find your superpower. Subscribe to the Superpowers for Good newsletter at superpowersforgood.com. Make your strengths into superpowers that will change the world. Join the super crowd today. Superpowers4good.com.
Hope to raise money from the impact crowd. Good investors are as interested in community, social or environmental impact as you. Connect with Funding Hope, an SEC-registered FINRA member crowdfunding portal, to learn how to raise capital from the impact crowd. Scan the QR code now.
Welcome back, everyone. We're here with Rachel Renee. She is the CEO and founder of Goat Moves, and she's a big deal. She's building something that I am so excited for her to bring to market. I'm excited to get into her platform with our content, with our businesses, and things we're selling. It's going to be great. Listen, before we leave today, we're going to shift gears now and talk to Rachel a little bit about her superpower. So I want to invite you to stick around for this conversation. Rachel, I'm so impressed with all that you're doing. I mean, you're just, you're all that in a bag of chips. You just, to think about the small business you were leading and your vision for supporting small businesses while you create something that could be huge. Very exciting. Very exciting. What is your superpower?
My superpower, I would say my superpower, and I had to take a breath on that because it really has been a lot just in my 31 years of life. And I say all the time, I've been through several hellfires in my life. I have had to sit in many furnaces, but what it taught me was to really seek out my own peace amongst chaos because it's constant. And what I learned in that, and what really, I would say, cultivated my major superpower, is that seeking that peace amongst this constant chaos leads me right back to kid me, the creative me, the child me, the me that existed before, I would say, the world kicked in, before humanity kicked in, before you go through that phase where you're just buried by just everything, and a lot of people get buried and some people just never resurface. And, it goes into, my purpose, even with Goat Moves, but being in that for periods of time and just having to suffer my own consequences, it really just taught me to seek out peace and stillness amongst myself, cultivate the creativity and the love that I felt as a child. And in that, never losing that, the way I show up in the world, I can still show up with compassion. I can still show up with empathy. I can still show up with excitement because I really refuse, and I do until I check up out of here. I refuse to let the world strip that of me. And I feel like that is my ultimate superpower that feeds and charges every other characteristic and aspect about me.
Yeah. It really is an amazing superpower. I guess kind of you're drawing on your inner child, right? That
Yes.
kid inside of you to really foster all those aspects, childlike, right? The creativity, the empathy, the kindness. Yeah. Wow. That's profound. Can you think of a specific time when you used that superpower to accomplish something you now are proud that you did?
Oh man, my company and no, and the reason why this is such a big deal with my company, because this is the one thing, and I'm an ambitious person. I've always been ambitious, assertive. Once I have a goal, I lock in on it, but I never locked in on anything in my life quite like this. And then the reason why I focus so much on the support that I have gained is because, I was founder broke. Okay. I was coming out of the pandemic as well. And the only thing that I could promise those that supported me was my sweat equity and that I would get it done by any means necessary. I'm like, listen, I know I can't afford you. I know I can't. But if you just give me just a mustard seed of just belief and support, I can take a lot and do a lot with that. So I am, and just my passion and my love and my drive to see that spark people and rally people, even in what they want to do. And, them, being so kind and gracious to bless me with their resources as well to help me get further along. We've done a lot in 2 years, and it's not me by myself. There's a whole team of people behind me that have sacrificed with me, that have supported me, that have, really stood 10 toes down with me about this. So I am very proud of what we've accomplished thus far. Win, lose, or draw, I am very proud. And that was truly out of the depths of who I am, just my childlike creativity and my passion for what it is that we're doing.
I love that. I love that. As you think about this, it really is it's cool. It's cool. We all want to be able to tap into our own inner child, some of us aren't in touch with that inner child the way you are, but at some level, I think all of us want to. We want to feel those feelings, that you remember when you're a child and there's a summer morning and the whole day of play is ahead of you. Just the sheer joy of a beautiful summer morning that you had as a child. Sometimes we don't feel that anymore as adults. And I think we want to all, at some level, we want to connect with that inner child. How do you do it? How can we copy you? How can we rediscover the inner child?
No, and let me say this, Devin, do not feel bad. If you are watching this, please do not feel bad. If you're triggered by this, or if you feel like, man, it has been a while since I felt this, but Devin, it was seeking out those experiences and those feelings. And what I do now, so like for me, I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. I grew up in a house with all of my family, my grandparents, my uncles, my cousins, my dad. My parents had me young. So like you said, the feelings of waking up. I'm going to go watch Lamb Chop and Barney. I know there's Fruit Loops and Cocoa Puffs in the kitchen. I know that my grandpa is going to wake up and come make me that sugar honey tea that I love. I know my grandma is going to come swoop me up and love me. Like those things that I counted on that really made my day. And then also being stimulated by my grandfather was Nigerian, a teacher, heavily educated. My mother was a nurse. So them stimulating me, hey, read this book, then you can go outside. Okay, you can play video games, but now I need you to write these 10 words and definitions. And then you need to use these in sentences. Like having that, all of my senses just tantalized and just being challenged and my creativity being cultivated in culmination with the love that got me excited and inspired. So I would write stories. I would go outside and play. I would go, explore my neighborhood and animals and make friends because it was just ignited in me. So now as an adult, when I wake up, and that's what I love being about an entrepreneur as well, is that, or even if you're at a job, it doesn't matter. Like wake up and just find one or two things that get you excited. You don't have to explain it to anybody else. If you want to go and howl at the moon at 11 o'clock at night on your drive home because you used to do that with your cousin as a kid, do that. Okay. But seek out those childly pleasures that just bring you joy, and then see how you can recreate that and cater to that as an adult. So I used to write stories. Now I write blogs. I used to talk a lot to my family. Now I'm on a podcast.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. As we get close to wrapping up here, I wonder if we can invite you to just take a minute and tell people how they can find your podcast, for instance. Take a minute, tell people how they can follow you on social media, connect with you personally. If there's if you want to share a way for people to be in touch directly, feel free. And then, of course, remind people how to find your crowdfunding offering on NetCapital, okay?
Oh, yes. Thank you so much. So, yes, I am the co-host. I am my father's co-host on Revolt TV's Holding Court podcast. You can stream it on Revolt TV directly, or you can go find the visual Holding Court podcast. If you would like to connect with me directly, I am Rachel Renee, but I am RCHL_Renee. So Rachel without the A and the E, on all platforms, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest. You can connect with me directly. And then if you have more questions and you want to find out more about my company and my offering, you can go to netcapital.com/company/GoatMoves. And then you can also find my company at Goat Moves Inc. on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and you can find me on LinkedIn as well, especially for my investors and fellow entrepreneurs. My company page is on LinkedIn. I am on LinkedIn. And yeah, definitely check out Holding Court Podcast. It is a family business. My dad is also my media partner in Goat Moves Inc. He is over our streaming feature on the platform. So definitely go check out Holding Court Podcast on YouTube and Revolt TV.
Fantastic. Well, Rachel, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today. We're just thrilled to have had you and want to wish you every success with your crowdfunding campaign.
Thank you for having me, Devin.
All right. Now, let's do some good.